Let's call the meeting to order. Get a motion to approve the minutes, January 15, 2025.
Motion.
Joe?
Second.
Phil? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? USD grants. Everybody get a chance to look at the USD grant disbursement agreement?
Which one was that?
I don't think it was sent out. I think it was just that it needs to.
Yeah, because this is hot off the presses. So this is a grant that was written in 2022. Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I was trying to verify. I think that's right. So I can't match up the reference number, but I think it was 22. Yeah.
And it, the state moves at their own pace. So we just got the paperwork back. There was a lot of back and forth that Paul pulled together a lot of information, and we just got it. Well, it was just sent to Vin, I think, on Monday.
Yeah.
So we need Vin's signature on this to move forward and get the grant dollars.
Is this that 440 grand flow or whatever it is?
Yep, it's the 440 or around that approximate. Yeah, 440,000. Yep.
Talking about from seems like years now. It's just a reimbursement and closing out a grant.
So second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm sorry, just who was the first and second?
Bob and Lou.
Thank you so much.
All right, DSA 1, we have some guests here. I'm next. Gonna go through everything.
I was wondering, we are here today, we can make a presentation or we can answer your questions of any concerns, however you want to handle it, let us know.
Didn't we get something out this afternoon? Did everybody get a chance to go?
They have it in there. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get a chance.
That's
We gave our responses
Yeah.
to the question, but we're here to answer more. I think I'd waste your time if we gave you a presentation.
It's in your hands, Joe.
Oh, okay.
So let me, I'm the one that raised questions to the last meeting. And a couple of days later, I got a call from somebody that said, well, you're trying to be an obstructionist. And, sometimes where I sit, being an obstructionist is a backhanded compliment. So that's the way I want to be labeled, that's fine. My perspective is very simple, guys. I'm a can-do-it kind of a guy. I don't like wasting time. I don't like people dragging their feet. I just want to see us get to the closing table. Just for contextual purposes, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, the Housing Authority did absolutely no development. But over the last 10 years, we've done $500 million worth of development and infused $500 million into this community. And it's because at the behest of the chair and others, they challenged us to go out and make a difference in the community. And so I'm not a drag my feet kind of a guy. And over the course of the last couple of meetings, when I've heard updates with regards to what's taking place, I'm a supporter of this initiative. I just saw people dragging their feet. And at the end of the day, I don't drag my feet. And it kind of pisses me off, to be very candid with you, and excuse my language. Because the way I see it, every day that goes by, the interest that we owe to MBT, right, goes up. And that's less money that we're going to have in order to allocate to phase 2, which is as important as phase 1. And that's the recreational piece from my standpoint. So you can call me an obstructionist, but this is the first time, and I've only been on this board 10 months. First time I've really gotten a comprehensive update as it pertains to what issues remain outstanding with regards to due diligence. So call me an obstructionist, but we ended up with results in terms of understanding where the dynamics stand with regards to this project. So I thank everybody for bringing us up to speed. And I will just ask one question. How much longer is it going to take before we get to a closing?
Well, I can start and then Rob will finish in detail. As you're all aware, we have a purchase and sale agreement. There are some requirements of the seller in that purchase and sale agreement. Those need to be fulfilled as much as our due diligence. We've completed our due diligence. Yesterday was our public hearing with the pilot. The pilot probably took 3 weeks longer than it should have We had to go back and forth. It ended up costing Visions Hotels $500,000 more over the 20-year period, and we agreed to that. We also already sat with the planning board. They welcomed our project, but the next step to getting planning board approval, which I believe will only take one meeting if we can get everything done correctly, is a six-figure commitment on architects and engineering. And we've already, and I'll agree with you there, as far as timing, every day pricing is going up still. It's costing us time and money every single day as well. I have files going back 8 years talking about this project. And I brought them here today, so if anyone wanted to see, 8 years of our time is expensive as well. So we've already spent six figures doing what we needed to do. As far as, I saw a lot of emails go back and forth last week and part of this week. Rob can talk to you about, I think we need DPW to sign an affidavit. We need Corporation Counsel to be involved in this transaction. We're working on a standstill agreement with Bob and Melanie. And I'm gonna leave now to Rob to tell you his perspective on things.
Yeah, I mean, without getting into all that minutia, I mean, the IDA was a critical piece, or is a critical piece, right? Without that, the project doesn't work. So, I mean, we're optimistic that we're gonna get approval in February. And once that happens, we're optimistic that the pieces are gonna start falling into place, because financing is the next one. Without the IDA, I mean, there's no financing for this project, right? It just doesn't work. So once that's done and we can go to the banks and say, you know, we have IDA approval, we think it's gonna move along quicker than it has. We have had discussions with lenders. We're in good discussions now with a relationship lender. Investing money in that. They've hired counsel. They've also hired an environmental engineer, which we're paying for. So, I mean, to answer your question directly, you know, we had asked for an extension of the diligence period to April 1st. The contract provides for a closing within 30 days. And the development schedule calls for starting the development in May. And that's the schedule that we're looking to adhere to as we stand right now.
Is it truly realistic? I mean, in April closing, May commencement of the project.
We would love that because we have to surcharge that land. So we need to get going in May. That's a 6-month
So
process.
as you sit here today, you truly believe that an additional extension would not be necessary if everything flows according to your schedule?
We are hopeful. We believe that. And I've been doing business with Visions for 20 years. We've never not closed a deal that we went under contract for. We're not ones to ask for a lot of extensions. But this deal is different than typically doing a simple closing with, you know, two parties that are not governmental, you know, requirements involved in it.
And you have put a deposit down too.
Oh, we put deposits down. We've agreed, I mean, throughout this time, we've agreed to an extra $100,000 to pay your consultants, the $500,000, plus everything that we're all in that same boat and nobody wants to be in that boat. That's that clear.
I mean, Andy Patel is not a foot dragger either. I mean, I've worked for him for 20 years and, you know, he's not dragging his feet. And I can't speak to any of these other costs, but I can tell you, just in terms of the attorney's fees that's been accrued by Visions in this project, you know, they're invested in it. So, I mean, nobody's dragging their feet. Nobody's looking to screw around or anything else. I mean, this is.
And quite frankly, I don't think any of us here felt that way. I just think that we approved the extension and all we wanted to do is hear from somebody, you know what I mean? Is just explain to us, we all want to move this forward. We don't want it to go any other backwards, but I mean, I think it's our duty as a board to ask questions too.
And we're not offended by the questions, not at all.
We're glad to answer, you know, to the extent we can, any questions that you have about where we stand at any point.
So for those due diligence factors that remain within the confines of the LDC's responsibility, Bob and Melanie, Bob and Melanie, where do we stand with regards to those items? Because obviously those items could play a role in delays moving forward.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll talk about, so the standstill agreement, as folks may remember, Bob, you weren't on the board then, but there is an agreement with with,
Canal.
Canals Group that impacts the land that Visions currently owns, upon which it's, was initially going to build its first hotel project, and that project is getting merged into this project. There's an agreement that Canal Corp is standing down from its right of reversion in the event there's a default or a delay in construction. That agreement is being amended and restated to pick up the additional real property and to cover the new project now, as you're familiar with it. So we're asking Canal Corp to agree that the new project as proposed is a permissible project, which it is. And then we're asking the Canal Corp to accept the timeframes that you all are familiar with respect to commencing and completing construction. It also builds in a liquidated damages concept in the event the project misses the timelines, but the Canal Corp and this corporation don't necessarily want to pull on the reverter. There's their ability to collect liquidated damages. We need Canal Corp and Patel's group to sign that agreement as it's amended and restated. That's being circulated, and we did confirm with Canal Corp. They have it, and they're looking at it. And you know, Rob has it as well, and you know, we look forward to working with Rob on his comments.
Yeah, and just to add to that, the counsel for Canal Corp is the same attorney we were dealing with the first time around with new parcels. So she is familiar with the agreement, and she is familiar with how it worked out last time.
We all know we're dealing with a state agency. So how long do you, based upon your dialogue and previous experience on the original standstill, how long do you feel it's going to take reasonably to secure their sign off on the standstill?
Well, I think we'll know more. What did she say this week?
Next week.
Yeah, Canal Corp attorney committed to getting back to us by next week, and we will ask her that question. You know, what's the timing to get approval to execute this amendment? You know, on one hand, they've seen this already. The first time we went through it, it took time because they were grappling with the concept. As a practical matter, Canal Corp does not want to revert on this land, right? But we do need them to sign this amendment. So that's one of our first questions, Bob. We'll be asking them.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other outstanding issues that potentially create any further delays that are our responsibility to create or generate?
In terms of the LDC's responsibility, we had the responsibility to secure the environmental easement. That's been done. The searches, the judgment lien bankruptcy searches were delivered. Rob sent around a first draft of the easement agreement, which involves Patel's group, the LDC, and also the city. So Rob, thank you. Today you sent back another draft that has been circulated to Corporation Counsel with the city. And we expect to talk to her next week. So I think we'll move quickly on how that agreement is reviewed.
There's no further action required, right? We authorize you to execute the extension subject to us having this meeting. Lou, you got it.
Well, I have a question on your thing. It says purchasers approval of letter of resolution dated July 19, 2018. It's been pending for 7 years? Or is that just a misprint?
No, that's the date of the letter.
So why is that? It's pending. What do you mean by pending though? It hasn't been approved by you?
No, that's a piece that's been with our bank counsel or is with our bank counsel. So that's a bunch of the diligence materials that pertain to this and they're reviewing it. So
You don't foresee that to be a
I
problem?
don't foresee it to be a problem.
Okay.
It was dealt with the first time.
I mean, 7 years is a long time. So to approve the letter.
Well,
So
that's the date of the letter, not the date of the.
that they got it.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's better. That now makes more sense. Okay. I'm good with that.
Assuming we get these cleared up, we're at close. You know, our side. I mean, if let's say the canal holds us up, does that hold you up?
The canal piece is critical. I mean, we can't close until that gets resolved.
And that's on our,
But that's,
Yeah,
not their.
no, I know.
Okay.
Just looking to set, make sure we're all kind of coming together at the same time so we can put some pressure on Canal Corp to tell them, you're the ones holding this thing up. It's your fault.
And that's where our struggle is. Now, if we have to commit another $100,000 to architects and engineers to go forward to get our site plan approval, Andy has to gamble on that. Because we really are not sure that we have everything we need. We're trying to convince him to take that next step. We had, heading the pilot was more of a concern than committing to the next step, because without us knowing where the school district stood, and we were fully expecting the school district to show up yesterday, since they had sent a letter saying that they would come
Snow
in,
day, and they had a board meeting.
and they did not.
Yeah, there was a board meeting last night that they canceled too.
Oh.
Because of the snow day.
Snow day.
They took a snow day too.
Okay.
It's tomorrow.
So we like snow, right?
Hey, Dominic, I think it's really important you convince Andy to move forward. I mean, what you got now is a very conceptual drawing. I mean, it's 5%, I mean, you got to get the drawing set to 30% or something to be, that's where you need to be for planning board. I
I've
mean,
been
you're
working
not,
on that, and I met with Brian yesterday, because what I'm trying to do is work both sides of that. Trying to explain to Andy that we need to get that next step, and I think getting that public hearing completed yesterday gives me some room to talk further with him.
okay.
Also, we talked about what we can do with the planning board to at least get a conditional approval, to expedite it as best we can. We're all for getting it done quickly, Paul. I wouldn't argue with you. It's something Andy and I disagree on, but he's the boss.
Yeah, anything I can do to help convince him, and and by the way, I reached out to Brian Bouchard. There's a lot of coordination things. There are things I thought he would ask us about to coordinate, as he advances the drawings. He doesn't get back to me on any of that. So I don't know.
I'll tell you why. He's been instructed that they're not to charge another dollar until we have a pilot agreement. So that's probably why he's not getting back to you.
Okay.
Well,
anything I can do to help.
I mean, it took us 2 weeks just to work out the final details of the draft of that pilot agreement. We were not in agreement until a week ago. And we finally all got it done, and it was by Andy agreeing to pay $500,000 more that we got it done.
So my question to Bob is, would it behoove us to have Mr. Halpin on a call with the Canal Corporation so that he can understand the dynamics of where they stand and maybe generate a level of confidence as it pertains to that execution of that standstill is not is in the works and not that far along.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, and we'll know more next week when we talk to Canal Corp's attorney. We will emphasize, the need to hurry up on this, and we will for sure include Rob or anyone else if we need to, if that will facilitate the speed of which the Canal Corp reviews. And we'll also, like we have in the past, ask the mayor and Vin and folks to use connections to help the Canal Corp pay better attention, if we feel we need it. But absolutely, this is a lift that's more than I can. I can't push the rock uphill. If I think we need help, Vin will be the first to know.
Yeah, but it's not really a facilitation question from my standpoint. It's generating confidence in terms of allowing Mr. Patel to make a decision as to move forward with regards to some of the design focuses. In fact, he knows that Canal Corporation is just a matter of time and not necessarily that there's any substance to their objection. So it's really not a facilitation question. It's just to try to assure them that expenditure of additional monies moving forward at this particular juncture may be worthy of consideration.
Yeah, Understood. We'll be communicating in real time with Rob if there's substantive issues, procedural issues, and we'll be working hand in hand, Bob.
Thank you.
So no on the, getting him on the phone, is that what that means?
No, I get him on the phone if we think we need him. Yeah, anything to get it done, Dominic.
No, that wasn't Dominic.
No,
Well, that was Bob.
It was Lou.
it was actually Lou. All the
Okay.
Italians sound alike.
Everybody.
All the Italians, we all sound alike.
Well stated. And Jack and Vinny were agreeing with it.
Yeah.
Right. We're afraid not to. Poor little German one in the corner.
I'm good from an obstructionist standpoint, so I'm okay.
RP is the only one that uses that word, by the way.
What's that?
RP is the only one that uses that.
No, I
word.
didn't get it from,
No?
I'm a big believer in that term, so.
I always hear him say that.
Anybody else got questions? Ready to vote?
Sure.
Yeah.
Motion?
Yep.
So moved.
Well,
Second.
just to read, Mr. Chairman, just to read into the record so we get it right, I would suggest the motion be, and Allison, you can get it down again. It's to ratify and confirm the execution of the Third Amendment to Purchase and Sale Agreement, extending purchaser's feasibility period, that it shall commence on the effective date and end on April 1, 2025.
Okay.
I'll move it.
Second? So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I'm sorry, just if you could confirm, who was the first and made the motion and the
Lou and
second?
Phil.
Phil.
And Phil again. All right, thank you.
Phil again.
Phil again. You got a new name.
All right, so.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
If you want us to come out, you can report or update, just let me know.
I appreciate it.
Hopefully we won't need it.
Where's Montour Falls?
Ithaca.
Oh, yeah, okay, it's on the state. All right.
I can't
Okay.
speak for the IDA, but I don't think they're gonna try, so.
All right. Sounds good. So comments around here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any old business? Consultants, you got anything we need to talk about?
No, we just wanted to cover that grant.
What's that?
And we are confirmed for the February 19th meeting to have Rob Esch come in and maybe Sal. We're
I
not sure
think,
about.
yeah. I think they both agreed Sal was a little bit.
Yeah, not good. Okay.
No,
All right, so-
he just was wanting to understand better why he was being called in. That's all. But I think I forwarded the meeting invite to both, and I think Rob for sure, and I'm pretty sure Sal as well.
Okay, yeah. Sal called me. I haven't had a chance to call him back, but I will get back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if nothing else,
All right.
we'll see everybody on the 19th of February. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, Phil again.
Phil again.
All right, Lou and Phil again. All right,
Right.
427.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You gotta-